10 years back, it's you and I were standing in the rain, somewhere outside Atlanta, and I think my 12-seat band is right there out of frame. This was before I knew my way around Los Angeles, before I ever cared about nice neighborhoods. We were driving through the night, sleeping on hotel floors, and thinking that we had it good. We were kids back then, thinking we would live forever. We were kids back then. We were wild and free, taking on the world together. We were kids back then. That's how we're always gonna be. Friend on my timeline who had lately been on my mind. We were close as blood. And if we sat down for a drink, I think we'd forget all the stupid reasons we lost touch. It was just because we were kids back then, thinking we would live forever. We were kids back then, you and me. We were wild and free, taking on the world together. We were kids back then. That's how we're always gonna be. All you got to do is blink your eyes and the years go by like that. They fly right past. I don't want to wait to realize everything that you and I already have. 5:30 in the morning and we're awake again. You are holding baby Jane. I lean in to take a picture when it hits me. In 20 years I will look back and say, we were kids back then, thinking we would live forever. We were kids back then. We're so young and free, taking on the world together. We were kids back then. That's how we're always gonna be. We were kids back then, thinking we would live forever. We were kids back then, you and me. We were wild and free, taking on the world together. We were kids back then. That's how we're always gonna be. That's how we're always gonna be.
I thought I heard something.
What brings you here, Khajiit?
Is there something you need?
Is there something I can do for you?
All right, then. I'm listening.
May I help you? Why walk when you can ride? Why walk when you can ride?
Can't you see I wish to be...
So good to see you.
All right then, I'm listening.
How can I help?
Tidings and good wishes to you, friend.
Yes?
Warm day to you, friend.
No worries. I won't hurt you. Ask your question.
Our sugar
Of
is
course.
yours.
Is
What
there
may I
something
do?
I...
How
May the
are
wind be
you?
on your back.
All right then, I'm listening.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
Where would you like to go?
Why walk when you can ride? We make a special trip just for you. Same low price. Where would you like to go? Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
Where's that slave? Here not long ago.
danger.
This is no escape. This is too easy.
But the brown ones seem to last longer.
This is going to be fun.
Can
I'm
you
listening.
ask your question quickly?
Where would you like to go?
You should run now. What may I do for you?
Good friend, this is an honor.
Is there something I can do for you?
What may I do for you?
Where would you like to go?
We make a special trip just for you.
Where did I put them?
Oh my gosh. I've been muted this whole time. Thank you. And the culprit is Whiskey, because I keep myself muted. Keep myself muted before the stream starts. It's okay. I've just been talking to myself, so I've been saying nothing of import. So let's see. So for about 30 minutes, like almost 40 minutes that I've been streaming so far, that I've been just talking into the void. Which is okay. Like I said, I wasn't saying anything like super important. It's mostly just commentary. But I'm gonna go back and laugh at the recording now of just watching myself pretend that I'm talking. Nah. Good old Velothi. Lead those Chimer to Morrowind. So, right now I'm trying to find. Well, I'm looking for this guy right here. For our friend Anasi, who's in Pelagiad, who is trying to get this guy off of Skooma, and I'm here to convince him to get off the Skooma and go spend his life with his mate Anasi for the Thieves Guild missions, which I'm the mastermind of, but I'm going back and doing some older missions. And I have so much gold I can just bribe him. She calls me a coward and a fool and the one who is her husband. I mean, I will totally wifey up Anasi, man, if you won't. How much whiskey do I drink per week?
Sweet moon sugar.
I have about, depending on the day, most nights I'll have a 2-ounce glass of whiskey. So maybe like I'll have 14 if you're like on average 14 ounces of whiskey a week.
You walk on warm sands.
Like I definitely don't drink. I wouldn't go through a bottle, if that's what you're asking. I usually am pretty. I drink in moderation, but I love to have a glass of whiskey when I play. So I usually keep about like 2 to 3 ounces. Some nights I'll allow myself like 4 ounces, and then that way, you know, I can have a special night. And since we're going into the weekend, I've had probably about 4 ounces tonight.
I heard something.
I need to find somebody who knows how to cure a skooma addict. What's my favorite whiskey? Oh man. That's a really tough question. Like I have like a top 5 more than like my favorite whiskeys. My top 5 is like, so I like Elijah Craig, like for bourbons, like there's like separate categories. So there's like bourbon and Scotch, and then there's Irish whiskey, and then there's Canadian whiskey, and like there's different types of whiskey that I enjoy. But if I was gonna put it in top 5, I like single barrel Elijah Craig. I like Lagavulin, which is a Scotch, a 16-year-old Scotch. I like Hibiki, any sort of Japanese whiskey I enjoy. I also enjoy Buffalo Trace. And then if I was going to name a Canadian whiskey, like I don't really enjoy Canadian whiskey, to be honest. But my 5th choice would probably be High West, like High West Campfire whiskey. If you look that one up, Campfire, High West Campfire. That's like a blend of, like peated whiskey, Scotch, and bourbon. It's like a blend of all of those, and it's delicious. Okay. I also heard about a key for the Redoran Vaults, which I'm going to follow up on, because I'd love to plunder those vaults. I love acrobatics. I can just jump all over the place. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite whiskey, Drennis? Anything that I should try? I mean, I've tried a lot of whiskey. I've tried and drank a lot of whiskey. There we are, Redoran. Macallan. That's like, that's along the same lines as like Walker and all that stuff. It's along the middle line, like with Talisker, which I like Talisker as well. So you like, if you drink Scotch, then that's what you like to drink. If you're like picking up a bottle, you pick up a bottle of Macallan Scotch.
Is there something you need?
Funny enough, you prefer wine? Well, you've also run into the right person. So, I have my sommelier certificate from the Court of Master Sommeliers. And I got that back in 2019. So I'm a certified sommelier. I also am studying, but due to the coronavirus, all the classes were canceled. But I'm studying enology and viticulture, and I've worked at a winery for a really long time. So I know my wines too. I really enjoy red wine. I'm not drinking a lot of red wine here recently, just because my once my palate shifts, like I'll drink whiskey for a while and then I'll shift back to red wine. But I know my wines very well, and where I'm located here regionally is on the Eastern Coast in Virginia. So, but my preferred varietals, I like a lot of Virginia wine, and I also like a lot of French wine, and some California wines, like their Cabernet Sauvignon I like, but yeah, no, so I have a little bit of knowledge in everything.
I can spare a few moments if you care to talk.
What type of wine do you like to drink? I think my favorite red would have to be Cab Franc or Petit Verdot. I like drinking those. So like in ranking, Cab Franc, Petit Verdot, Tannat, or like a blend. If I can find a really good Bordeaux blend, I will drink the shit out of a really good Bordeaux. But in my opinion, Bordeaux has become really bland over the past couple of years. But France has not been having a great couple of seasons. Ooh, Cabernet Sauvignon Spanish. So you like Rioja, like your Rioja blends. I have a perfect Spanish red wine that you should try if you can ever find it. If you have a wine shop, maybe a Total Wine nearby, you might be able to find. It's called Baron de Lay, and actually, I'm gonna get my bot to type it. I have a bot in chat. There you go. Baron Delay.
There's someone watching me. I can tell.
I think they're on their 2012 vintage. They might be on 14. They usually skip a year. But Baron Delay is a Rioja blend. It's phenomenal. And if you like Cabernet Sauvignon, or if you like Spanish reds, they're top tier. And it's around, for what I pay for it, it's around $30 a bottle. Though it's pretty high price. It's pretty high. That's pretty high dollar for Spanish red. Usually Spanish wines don't cost a lot of money.
Submit to the 3.
Due to their economy. But I drink a lot of Spanish. I drink a lot of Spanish reds.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
Oh, you're in Moscow. Nice. That is awesome that you guys can get some Spanish reds up there. Which, to be honest, I don't know much about. Like Russia in general, but although that I do know that you guys like have a pretty close tie to like some of the first. You guys were some of the first people making wine. We owe it to the. It's further south in Russia. It's if you look up Georgian wine, they're like the first people to like make wine like ever.
May I help you?
They used to make wine like 8,000 years ago in like these big clay pots and qvevris that they stored in the ground. Yes, thank you for correcting me. Georgian. Is that how I pronounce it? They have, but those are like the first original like winemakers. I know some people like Egypt as well, like, you know, around that area, but their wines are actually, I don't even put it in the quotation, natural. Like they just grow grapes, they collect the grapes, they put them in qvevris, and they let the wine do what they do. According to like this documentary that I watched about Georgian wine.
What is it? Yes, Outlander. What do you
But
want?
they're some of the OG winemakers.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
But I hope you do get a chance to try Baron Delay. Since you like Spanish reds, I think you'll enjoy it.
Move along.
What's a Grandoa?
Submit to
He
the
made
3.
wine
The
from his
spirits and
Grandoa.
thy lords.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Well, most people in that region, from what I know of, and this is just a few documentaries that I've watched, that they like most families did make their own wine. They like, you know, you find vines all over the place there. Yes. I am stealing all this shit. Okay, so I'm not totally misinformed, which is good. I don't like being misinformed on things. And I've only tried, let's see, I've only tried a few of their wines, and what I can say about it is that it's very natural style wine. Like, they don't have a lot of like sulfites in their wine, which is nice, which means that you can drink a lot of it and not get a hangover. I've been able to drink a lot of their wine and not get like super hungover from it, which is like, that's a plus. Because super overproduced wine usually gives me, like, I'll have a glass or two and it gives me a terrible hangover. Which tells me like a couple things. One, they're adding way too much byproduct in their wine, which I typically won't buy again. Most wine nowadays has like it's very much altered. Like, it has a lot of human interaction chemically, where they're adding sulfites, they're adding sugars, they're adding they're adding like, you know, certain types of acid into the wine to enhance flavors from the grapes that they grow, just because a lot of the climate, unless you get like a perfect year or a perfect climate, you're going to be adding, you know, additives to your wine to make it, you know, yeah, no, unless you're buying from like a single estate, so like single estate wines, like from a winery that would, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head that like doesn't add any additives into their wine, and it just doesn't come to mind. Even some of the most like famous wineries in France and Spain add, you know, sulfites and acids and sugars to their wine to enhance it. It's just the way it is, like, currently. And then there's a movement, you know, called the natural wine movement. And natural wine, which these Russians and the Georgian, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, please correct me. Georgian, they're not adding anything into their wine. They're literally just putting it in these huge clay pots, which they bury it underground, and they leave it, and then they check it. It's like a holiday, and I'm not doing it justice right now, but it's like a holiday. They leave it for like a year, and then they check it the following year, and they bring it out. And those have no additives, and they drink that wine. But most places, to keep up like the status quo of their product or their brand, will taste test wines from later vintages, like from 1960. Like France in 1960 was producing some pretty incredible wines, but since then, with the climate change and all the rain and hail and the pests that come around, the diseases that infect the wines, they have a hard time keeping that quality up. So really, they taste test these wines, and they're like, okay, well, let's try to see how we can chemically balance this with our newer vintages to match that profile in that wine. Which It's not bad. It's not a bad practice. It's just necessary. It's necessary to keep up the wine production and keep people buying. So if I'm buying high quality wine, if I'm going to spend more than $50 on a bottle of wine, more than $60, even up to $100 on a bottle, it has to be quality. That's kind of what I'm saying. And quality can mean that they have sulfites in it. It just needs to be. I don't like wine that has been altered too much. I'd rather have a wine with flaws than a wine that has been altered to a point that, you know, where I'm gonna get like a super hangover from drinking it. Which happens a lot, which is why I don't. Well, being somebody who's like behind the curtain, like I've been behind the curtain on a lot of wine production and watching wine get produced and made, is that hell if there is not a lot of tinkering that goes on to make it perfect. There's a lot of tinkering. And that's in every single culture of wine that you will find. It should. I don't want to ruin wine for you. You should drink. You should drink as much wine as you want. If I were to visit your house and you put down a bottle of wine in front of me, I would enjoy it. I would find something to enjoy about it. I tried not like. I'm pretentious in the way that I talk about wine and how it's made, but if I consume it, like if I'm with people and I'm enjoying myself and I'm having a good time, it doesn't matter. Hey Chrome, how you doing? We're plundering and pillaging the Redoran vaults, which I apparently don't have enough space in my inventory to carry, so I'm going to try to get out of here and drop some of this stuff off and maybe come back here in a second.
Yes, Outlander. Yes, Outlander.
I also have to figure out how to get Anasi's
Go ahead,
Anasi's partner off of Skooma, which I'm not sure how to go about that. Dronus, hey, thank you for the stimulating conversation. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Please don't let me ruin wine for you. Drink more wine, drink local. It's okay, Chrome. I think I know what I have to do. It's like I have to get these 2 flowers. If that's, am I on the right track? It's like these flowers that I need to find. It's the Coda flower and the gold Kanat, or Kanet, however you want to pronounce it.
Why walk when you can ride?
If I'm on the right track, you can let me know. Since I'm still super exhausted, it's not going to be a long playthrough tonight. I'm actually stopping here anyways, just because it's been a long week. Gotta tell you. Also, I will be taking vacation. I'm getting ready to go on vacation from this Saturday, the 8th, August the 8th through Saturday to a Saturday. So I'll be back. I'm going to be gone for an entire week. I won't be streaming for an entire week. I'm going to put that up on my profile. Well, you know what, Chrome, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. It's something for me to. I haven't done this before, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to investigate and figure it out. But I'm gonna put it in my schedule that I'm gonna put myself in vacation mode tomorrow. I won't be back for a whole week. I'll be offline, just so nobody's like, oh, he quit. Yeah, worried about that part, the staying safe part. Hopefully where we're going, the house that we have is right on the beach, so hopefully, everything goes smoothly and no one's going to be right up on top of us. We're very precautious, but I thank you for your thoughts. And hopefully I'll see you when I get back. I'm gonna do a little research in my offline time for this quest, and while I'm at the beach, I'm gonna play a little offline campaign mode, which I always do. I just love this game, so I play it all the time. But anyways, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you next week. It'll probably be Monday or Sunday. I will tell her you said hi. All right. Until then, I'll catch you later, man. Have a good night, and I'm gonna go ahead and wait. Let me make sure I saved. I'll do a double save. All right. Take care, Chrome.